change up.
Welcome back to Geek Sports, a channel about sports. We dig deep, cause you don't have to. In today's video, we'd like to talk about two teams that are running the NBA as of current offseason. The LA Clippers and the Los Angeles Lakers. Both teams make a move to be contenders for the NBA title. We'd like to start off with the 16-time NBA championship team. First is LeBron. Where do we even begin to break down King James? He is one of the best players of all time and can do it all. He has multiple MVP awards, both regular season and did it in the NBA Finals. He has also been an All-Star in all but 1 year. LeBron James has averaged over 25 points in his career, but also 7 boards and 7 assists. James is a phenomenal passer and is another one of these players who could multiply positions. James was the first overall pick back in 2003, and the rest has been making history ever since. This season, LeBron averaged 27 points, 8 assists, and 1 steal. Next, we'd like to talk about this young talent. Anthony Davis has made the All-Star game in all but 1 season so far in his career. Davis was drafted back in 2012 and was the first overall out of Kentucky. This is a no-brainer, given his skill set, and is one of the most dominant bigs of the game. Davis has averaged over 20 points and 10 rebounds. He's also averaging over 2 blocks per game and 1 steals per game. Davis is an all-around stud and has also shooting over 50% from the field. Davis is one of the premier players in the game and will be to come. This season, he averaged 25 points, 3 assists, 2 blocks. Next is DeMarcus Cousins. DeMarcus Cousins is one of the more dominant centers in the league, but the Achilles injury he recently had put a doubt in his future. He averaged 20 and 10 in his career, but is also known to rack up defensive stats as well. He has over 1 block and 1 steal per game in his career. Cousins has also made a move towards becoming a 3-point shooter, shooting around 36% over the last few seasons. Cousins was drafted 5th overall back in 2010 and was part of the strong Kentucky class that seemingly shows up every year. Rajon Rondo. It's sort of a dying breed at the moment, but Rajon Rondo was a pass-first point guard that could dominate teams early in his career. His defense was also on the rise, but the Big Three era in Boston had to do a lot with that. Rondo went to being one of the weaker defenders in his career later. Rondo has averaged 8 assists in his career and has had a few years averaging double-digit points. At stages of Rondo's career, he is splitting time with both point guards and shooting guards, but still serving a purpose, setting up offense, and is casually as a 6-man coming off the bench. Next, we have Kyle Kuzma. There's not a lot to say about this young talent, knowing that he's coming off his 6th season. This season, in 33 minutes, Kuzma has put up 18.7 points, 2.5 assists, 0.6 steals, and near 1 block per game. Kyle Kuzma has a lot to prove this season. Knowing that he's been putting work in the offseason, he has to show that he's the one that's should have stayed in LA because he has the most talent. Not saying the players that they traded don't have talent, but he has a weight on his shoulders. I know this is a video about matchups, but how good do you think these teams will be in their seasons to come? Who do you think will be crowned the king of LA? The Clippers or the Lakers? Who do you think will win the championship first? Is this going to be the Lakers this season or the Clippers this season? We yet to come. Next, we have the Los Angeles Clippers, which also have been making moves this offseason. A quiet and mysterious individual sums up Kawhi Leonard. When he's healthy, he's also one of the top small forwards in the game. Defensively, he is one of the top players in the league and has already had 2 DPOTY Defensive Player of the Year awards. Averaging over 1.5 steals per game in his career, you can see why. He was the 2013 Finals MVP and has a quite few other achievements too. Leonard was drafted 15 overall but traded to San Antonio. Injuries have put a cloud around Leonard since the 2017 playoffs, but when healthy is an overall top player. This season, Leonard put up his highest scoring season, putting up 26 points in 34 minutes. He's also coming off a Finals MVP and a championship. Next, we have Paul George. Paul George came out of California State, which is not known as a basketball school by any means necessary. He was drafted 10th overall back in 2010 and has become one of the top small forwards. He has a few All-Star experiences to his name and has also established himself as a quality defensive player as well. He has made the defensive team 3 times in his career. George did not get off to the hardest start, and after a few seasons he started to look like a top 10 pick. George is back to healthy that horrible scar that happened when he got injured, and he is averaging over 20 points per game in the 4 of the last 5 seasons. Yet alone this season, he's averaged over 25 points in 36 minutes. He averaged 28 points. Paul George, which is the defensive stopper, can also shoot, averaging 43.8% from the field goal. Next is Patrick Beverley, which is a defensive stopper. Patrick Beverley this season averaged 7.6 points, 3.8 steals, 0.9 steals, 0.6 blocks, and 11 turnovers. Now don't let this take away the fact that he is a very talented and skill-setted player that could also help teams win. Patrick Beverley is a defensive monster, also locking down players from quality players and top players and low players. Patrick Beverley recently signed a 3-year deal with the Clippers. It is a 3-year, $40 million deal to remain with the Clippers, as reported by Adrian Woj of ESPN. Beverley, whose professional career began with international segs in Ukraine, Greece, has evolved to the NBA and putting up monster highlights. Next, we have this 3-point shooter called Landry Shamet. Landry Shamet, which is coming off a good season, averaged 9.1 points, 1.5 rebounds, 1.5 assists, and 22.6 minutes per game. take away the fact that Landry Shamet is a very good shooter. It can put up good numbers a night and is very consistent. Next, we have Zubac, which is on his third season and has a salary that's not a lot for a player like him. In 17.6 minutes, he averaged 8.9 points, 1 assist, and near 1 steal per game, and near 1 block. There's not much to say about Zubac because he still has time to grow into the league. Zubac also is 22, 7'1", and 240 pounds.
Don't I have that?